Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare प्रणाम प्रभु की जय। सबसे पहले हम चर्चा करेंगे 10 नाम अपराध की जिनसे सदैव बचकर रहना चाहिए। सबसे पहला, भगवान नाम के प्रचार में जीवन को समर्पित करने वाले भक्तों की निंदा करना। दूसरा, शिव ब्रह्मा आदि देवों को भगवान नाम के समान अथवा उनसे स्वतंत्र समझना। तीसरा, गुरु की अवज्ञा करना अथवा उन्हें साधारण मनुष्य समझना। चौथा, वैदिक शास्त्र एवं प्रमाणों का खंडन करना। पांचवा, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जपी महिमा को काल्पनिक समझना। छठा, पवित्र भगवान नाम में अर्थवाद का आरोप करना। सातवां, नाम के बल पर पाप करना। आठवां, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र के जप को वेदों में वर्णित एक शुभ से काम गरम गरम खान के समान समझना। नौवां, श्रद्धालु को कृष्ण नाम की महिमा का उपदेश करना। 10वां, भगवान नाम के जप में पूर्ण विश्वास न होना और इसकी इतनी अगाध महिमा श्रवण करने पर भी भौतिक आसक्ति बनाए रखना। अपने आप को वैष्णव समझने वाले प्रत्येक भक्त को चाहिए इस प्रकार के नाम अपराध से सदैव बचकर रहे, ताकि श्री कृष्ण के चरण कमलों में प्रीति शीघ्र प्राप्त हो, जो मनुष्य जीवन का परम लक्ष्य। हरिनाम प्रभु की जय। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तों में। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, 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 Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, 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 Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Re 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 Ram Re Rama 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 Re 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 Krishna Re Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Re Rama 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 Re 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 Krishna Re Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Re Rama 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 Re 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 Krishna Re Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Re Rama 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 Re 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 Krishna Re Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Re Rama 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 Re 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 Krishna Re Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Re Rama 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 Re 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 Krishna Re Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Re Rama 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 Re 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 Krishna Re Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Re Rama 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 Re 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 Krishna Re Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Re Rama 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 Re 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 Krishna Re Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Re Rama 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 Re 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 Krishna Re Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Rama Rama Re 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 Krishna Re Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Re Rama 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 Re 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 Krishna Re Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Re Rama 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 Re 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 Krishna Re Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Re Rama 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 Re 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 Krishna Re Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Re Ram 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 Re 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 Krishna Re Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Re Rama 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 Re Re Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Ram, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Ram, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Ram, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram Ram Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Hare,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram
Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna 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 Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram Ram,
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
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 Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hari
Hare
Hari
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Hare
Ram
Ram
Hari Ram 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 Hari Hari Hare
Krishna Krishna
Om
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram
Hari Ram
Ram
Hari Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna
Ram
Hari
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hari Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hari Ram
Ram Hare Ram
Hari Hari Hari
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Hare
Krishna
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 Hari
Krishna
Hari
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hari Ram
Ram
Hari
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hari
Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hari Hari Hari
Ram
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 Hari
Hare
Ram
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hari Hari
Krishna
Hari
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hari
Hare
Hari
Ram
Hari
Hare
Hari
Ram
Krishna Hari
Ram
Hari
Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Ram
Hare
Hari
Ram
Ram Hari Ram Hari Hari
Ram
Hari
Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
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 Hare
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 Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Ram Hare
Ram
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Ram Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
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 Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram Ram
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
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 Hare Ram Ram
Ram
Ram
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Hare Ram
Hare Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram, Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram, Ram,
Ram
Ram,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, 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 Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare, Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Ram, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Rame
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare Krishna
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Rame
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Rame
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare Krishna
Ram Hare
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 Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Rame
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare,
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare
Ram
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 Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare Ram
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 Ram Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare, Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare Ram
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 Ram,
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare,
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram,
Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare,
Ram
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 Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare Hare Ram Hare
Ram
Ram Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So let's have Guru Vastikar now.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम। संसार दावा नल लीढलो का प्राणाय कारुण्य घना घनात्वं प्राप्तस्य कल्याण गुणारवस्य वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् महाप्रभु कीर्तन नित्य गीता वादित्रमाध्यान् मनसोरसेना रोमाञ्चकं पाशुतरङ्गभाजो वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् श्रीविग्रहाराधननित्यानाना शृङ्गारतन्मन्दिरमार्जनादो युक्तस्य भक्तश्च नियुञ्जतोऽपि वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् चतुर्विधा श्रीभगवत्प्रसादो स्वादन्न तृप्तान् हरिभक्तिसङ्गान् कृत्वैव तृप्तिं भजता सदैव वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् श्रीराधिका माधव माधुरी गुणरूप नाम्नां प्रतीक्षणा स्वादनलोलुपस्त्या वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् निकुञ्जयो रतिकेली सिद्धये यायालिभिर्यो भक्तिरुपेक्षणीया तत्रादिदाक्षाद् अतिवल्लभस्य वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् साक्षादरित्वेन समस्तशास्त्रैर् उक्तस्तथा भाव्यतेव सद्भिः किन्तु प्रभो यः प्रिय एव तस्य वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत्प्रसादो यस्य प्रसादं न गति कुतोऽपि दायस्तोस्तस्य यस्य त्रिसन्ध्यम् वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् संसारदावा नललीडलोका प्राणाय कारुण्यगणगणात्वं प्राप्तस्य कल्याण गुणारवस्य वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय।
श्री श्री गौणिताई की जय, सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय, श्री श्री राधा पार्थसारथी भगवान की जय, लक्ष्मी नरसिंह देव भगवान की जय, श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की जय, श्रीमद् भागवतम मैराथन की जय। गॉड प्रेमानंदे people. So let's have the Tulsi Aarti now.
दंडवत प्रणाम। वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवती नमो नमः। वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवती नमो नमः। वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवती नमो नमः। नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः। राधा कृष्ण सेवा पावो यही अभिलाषी नमो नमः। तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः। जे तुम्हार शरणालोय तारा वांछ पूर्ण होय कृपा करी करो तारे वृंदावन वासी नमो नमः। तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः। मोर ऐ अभिलाष विलास कुंज दियो वास नयने हरिबो सदा युगल रूप राशि नमो नमः। तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः। ए निवेदन धरो साकीर अनुगत करो सेवाधिकार दिए करो निज दासी नमो नमः। तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः। दीन कृष्ण दासे कोय ये न मोरा होय श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेमे सदा न भासी श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेमे सदा न भासी नमो नमः। तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः। यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्मत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे। यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्मत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे। यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्मत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय तुलसी महारानी, जय तुलसी महारानी, जय तुलसी महारानी, जय तुलसी महारानी। जय वृंदे देवी, जय वृंदे देवी, जय वृंदे देवी, जय वृंदे देवी। वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवती नमो नमः। वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवती नमो नमः। वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवती नमो नमः। तुलसी महारानी की जय, वृंदे देवी की जय।
Let's take the Tulsi Aarti now. Jai Tulsi Maharani ki jai. Shri Shikshashtakam ki jai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Chaitodharpanam Marjanam Brahmadavagri Nirvapanam Nishayakhiram Chandrika Vitnam Vidyavadu Jeevanam Anandam Budivardhanam Pratibadam Bhudaprita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijata Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Nam Kari Prabhuda Nit Sarva Shakti Satrapita Niyamata Isparnai Nakala एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवी दश्मि हाजनी नानुराग नादपि सुरिचैना तरोरपि सहर्षणा अमानिना मानदेना कीर्तनीये सदा हरि नादनं नाचनं नासुन्दरीं कवितामवा जगदीश कामे मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद् भक्तिरयतु कित्वै अयि नन्दतनुज किङ्करं पतितं मां विषमर्भवाम्बुधो कृपया तव पाद पङ्कज स्थितधूलि सदृशं विचिन्तया नयनं गलदश्रुधार्या वदनं गदगदहृदया गिरा पुलकैनिचितं वपुः कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति युगायतं निमिषेषाणां चक्षुषा भ्रंशायतं शून्यायतं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे आश्लिष्य वा पादरतां विनष्टमामधर्षमां हन्तां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव न परम्। Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. As we are discussing the Guru Shikshashtakam, today we do the 6th verse. Nayanam Galadishrudharya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu स्वयं भगवान है युगल रूप राधा कृष्ण का प्रकट हुए भक्त के रूप। अब कह रहे हैं कि कब वो दिन आएगा भगवान जब मेरी आंखों से अश्रु धारा बहेगी और आपका एकमात्र नाम लेने से इतना विरह, इतना भगवान से भाव, इतना प्रेम कि एक बार उनका नाम लेने मात्र से आंखों से आंसू बहने लगे। और कब वो दिन आएगा जब मुझे रोमांच हो आपका एक नाम लेने मात्र से। तो भगवान के नाम से ये स्थिति आएगी जो सिंसियरली जपा करते हैं। That is why he is asking this, because this happens, but it will happen when the sincerely हम जपा जाएगा। जब हम शुद्धता से नाम जपते जाएंगे तो then one day it will be like this with the mercy of Guru and Krishna. So that is why he's praying to the Supreme Lord. When will that day come? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Let's go to the quote of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada says, It says in London, July 22nd, 1973. Rich man's son, he hasn't got to do anything. So his brain is devil's workshop. तभी हम देखते हैं जिन बच्चों के पास सब सुविधा होती है, सब सुख सुविधा होती है. So how they behave, what happens to them, what they do, because it's devil's workshop. They have nothing to do in there, and they have everything. They have access to everything. इसलिए that becomes devil's workshop. So what best we can give is Hari Naam. We can guide them, we give them the Hari Naam, and then they think perfectly well. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Maharaj says, do I just need the best doctor, hospital, or medicine to return to healthy life? No, I need this disciple to glorify Krishna more by chanting your rounds attentively. So demonstrate to Krishna that you want to please give me my medicine by becoming good devotees. The medicine that will cure me is with all of you, not with doctors. Please take my request seriously. So Guru Maharaj कह रहे हैं कि जब वो बीमार थे तो कहते हैं कि because he felt sick in 90s also, he had a heart attack, and then he was recuperating, and it's maybe he must have stated at that time, तो क्या आप सोचते हो कि मुझे डॉक्टर, हॉस्पिटल और मेडिसिन की जरूरत है एक हेल्दी लाइफ के लिए? तो कह रहे हैं नहीं, मुझे ऐसे शिष्य चाहिए जो भगवान का गुणगान करें by chanting their nouns attentively, जो बड़े ध्यान पूर्वक अपना जप करे. And he especially says, I need disciples, because उन्होंने क्यों कह रहे हैं disciple? क्योंकि disciple वो होते हैं जिनका उन्होंने बीड़ा उठाया है कि वो उन्हें they are because they are under this shelter, so he has taken their responsibility to take them back to Godhead. हमारी सबकी responsibility गुरु महाराज की है, because जो गुरु के हो जाते हैं वो निश्चिंत हो जाते हैं, पर जो प्रयास करते हैं गुरु का अच्छा शिष्य बनने का, ये नहीं कि शिष्य दीक्षा ले ली और बैठ गए और जो मर्जी करते हैं. That is not a disciple. A disciple who glorifies Krishna by chanting his rounds attentively, Guru Maharaj says. So demonstrate. तो कह रहे हैं कि कृपा करके ऐसा करो. आप मुझे दवा देना चाहते हो तो become good devotees, and the medicine that will cure me is with all of you. अब ये मत सोचेंगे गुरु महाराज है ही नहीं तो अब तो क्या जरूरत है. Now that he is not there, present before us, he doesn't need doctors, but he is giving this request so that we actually can please him. So he says, please take my request seriously, क्योंकि ये हमारे लिए हमारी बेहतरी इसी में है. If you want to go back to Godhead, we have to listen to Guru Maharaj's request very sincerely and seriously. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. So we are in the midst of the Bhagavatam marathon that's going on, but we really need a push now because everybody is relaxing. सब अपने comfort zone में है, thinking oh दूसरे तो कर ही रहे हैं, why to bother? हो ही जाएगा गुरु महाराज की मर्सी से. पर गुरु महाराज की मर्सी उन्हीं के लिए है जो प्रयास कर रहे हैं. Those who have put in sincere efforts. ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ कहने से नहीं होगा कि हाँ हो ही जाएगा. We have to put all our sincere efforts so that we can reach our targets. Everybody must try hard, very hard, to reach their targets. Yesterday, it's 37 days have gone by, 67 days are only left. So Rekha Jain did one yesterday with Mohit. So Rekha Jain Mataji's total reaches 16. Let's all chant for her so that she keeps on. She and her husband are motivated and they keep on preaching. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Nandini did one, Sahasrakshi Mataji's score reaches 9. Let's chant for her. She's also got a long way to go. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram, Hare. So only 2 Bhagavatam sets were done yesterday, whereas we are expecting at least 30 sets a day. 30 to 40 sets have to be done a day. But because only 67 days are left and 746 Bhagavatam sets remaining to be done. So there's a huge gap now, a long way to go and a huge gap. So please, I request you all, put in all your efforts. Let's reach at least 1,000 to हमें करना ही चाहिए. His Guru Maharaj gave us the orders to do 1,000. If we are unable to reach 1109, at least 1,000 we must reach. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Because if we really want to be sincere devotees of Guru Maharaj, sincere disciples of Guru Maharaj, sincere devotees of Krishna, so we must listen to his request and put in all our efforts. So if you live in Delhi NCR and you want the Bhagavatam or you want to gift someone in Delhi NCR, go to the Delhi NCR link. If you are outside Delhi NCR, go to the Pan India link. And if you want to sponsor Bhagavatam, go to the sponsor link. And if you live outside India, go to this number and they'll assist you. And please share your screenshots after the payment on this number. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So let's go to the next flyer is the Peaceful Activity School, the school running. And for the kids from the junior to senior, and now for the Gen Z also, for the youth as well. So help us to get enrollments in all these three sections so that they all become good devotees and nice preachers. And so that they can carry forward the legacy. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So we have the Chaitanya Charitamrita session coming up. No enrollments happened yesterday. Nobody wants the session to continue, I believe. If the enrollments don't happen by, we don't cross over and reach this Friday, at least 60% of it, I think so we'll discontinue with the classes then. Every time it becomes like if everybody is not doing on their own, we cannot push them. So we might discontinue with the Chaitanya Charitamrita class if the enrollments don't happen by Friday. Hare Krishna. So those who have paid will be, that can be refunded back. So there is the My Spiritual Father, the book that has to be sent across, distributed. If you want to glorify Guru Maharaj, if you really feel indebted to him, must distribute this book. And there are other books as well, written on the orders of Guru Maharaj, Vaishnava Teachings in Sikhism, Death the Unstoppable, Vaishnavism and Sikhism, Guru the Spiritual Father. So these books are meant for to make our bhakti strong, to make our, Guru Maharaj said, the interfaith will make your faith strong. This is the study of interfaith. So if we study, we become strong. So हमें प्रयास करना होगा, अपने आप से भी करना होगा. We should not depend totally that यहाँ session होगा तो we'll join in. You read it on your own because I don't get any queries, I don't get any questions from these books. That means no reading is being done. So if you are reading, you would be very much interested in preaching. क्योंकि जब हम पढ़ते हैं हमें उसको बताने के लिए बहुत आनंद आता है. But जब हम पढ़ते ही नहीं, so there is no question of, enthusiasm. So you got to do it on your own. ये नहीं है कि every time we have the sessions in the evening and then only you will push. You'll get a push. Very good. So let's go to the pictures of yesterday's. That's Guru Maharaj performing Mangala Aarti on the 22nd of July, 2020 in the big temple. July. That's Guru Maharaj in Moscow, 2011. The devotees in Moscow. This is Vancouver, Shanagati, near Vancouver. Shanagati Ashram, where Yamuna Mataji lived. So that is, Guru Maharaj would always go there to meet her, to meet the devotees there. at Shanagari. It's 500 kilometers drive from Vancouver. It's 500 kilometers away.
Storm. It's like a firestorm, actually, with the thunder and the veracity and the speed of a firestorm.
I remember he sent us several letters, guiding us on Rath Yatra and saying things like, I wish that I was there. We knew we couldn't expect him to be there, but he was with us. Don't forget, this was the height of Krishna awareness in London. Everyone knew us. We were famous. The flashing billboards in the center of London, Leicester Square. Everyone knew about the temple. We were part of the broad-banded culture of London at that time, 1970. George Harrison was our friend. John Lennon was our friend. All the famous people of England were aware of us. We were appearing in concerts. We were on the street every day, Oxford Street. And you can see by this time, many people were curious to see, what is this Hare Krishna phenomenon? And more Indian people had joined us. At first they were very leery of what we were doing, and they stayed away, they shied away. We had several core families, Indian families were very, very helpful and very solid. Gradually the majority of Indian people in London began to understand that this was the real thing, that this was Vaishnavism. Nicely dressed gentlemen. Prabhupada always used to say that only two places in the world a gentleman can live, India and England. He liked the higher level of culture in England. The bobbies everywhere. They were helping. They were helping move the deities. Afterwards, the bobbies all said that was one of the most delightful public displays they've ever seen. Everyone was perfectly mannered. They got a little taste of the ecstasy themselves. All of the devotees were so enlivened in England in those days. It was such an ecstatic experience all the time. Things were humming, and they had a play, Civil Disobedience. Not a great theme. We were children, we didn't know much about tact and diplomacy, politics. We did this for Prabhupada because we knew he would be happy.
So let's go the next year. The queen being garlanded by a devotee child. Very well.
चैतन्य महाप्रभु जी ने भक्ति का उपदेश देते हुए सनातन गोस्वामी से कहा कि पहले कदम में हमें प्रामाणिक गुरु की शरण लेनी चाहिए, और प्रामाणिक गुरु के विषय में रूपा गोस्वामी उपदेशामृत में कहते हैं, वाचो वेगम मनस क्रोध वेगम जीव वेगम उदारपस्थ वेगम, कि प्रामाणिक गुरु को मन और इंद्रियों पर पूरा वश होना चाहिए और शास्त्र के आधार पर उपदेश देना चाहिए। तो पहले कदम में हम प्रामाणिक गुरु की शरण लेते हैं, सेवा करते हैं, फिर दीक्षा लेते हैं। फिर आगे चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने कहा कि ये पूछो कि मुझे क्या त्यागना चाहिए भगवत प्रेम को प्राप्त करने के लिए। जिस प्रकार साधारण स्थिति में अगर मान लो आपको कोई बीमारी हो जाए, मान लो आपको डायबिटीज की बीमारी हो जाए, तो चाहे आपको चीनी का कितना शौक हो, मीठी चीजों का शौक हो, आपको छोड़ना पड़ेगा अगर आप उस बीमारी से बचना चाहते हो। तो इसी प्रकार चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने कहा, ये पूछो कि हमें क्या त्यागना चाहिए भक्ति के मार्ग में आगे बढ़ने के लिए। और 5वें कदम में जो त्यागने की आवश्यकता है उसे किसी कीमत में भी त्यागो। रूप गोस्वामी और 6 गोस्वामियों ने हमें अनेक प्रसिद्ध ग्रंथ दिए हैं और हमारी ये इच्छा होनी चाहिए कि हम उनकी शिक्षा को ध्यान से समझें। तो रूप गोस्वामी जी कहते हैं, हे मेरे प्रिय मित्र, जो भी कीमत भरनी पड़े भरो, पर कृष्ण भक्ति को जरूर प्राप्त करो। तो आप सब जो यहाँ उपस्थित हो, आप सब जुड़े हो इस संस्था के साथ, और हमारा सौभाग्य है कि श्रील प्रभुपाद जी ने हमें शुद्ध उपदेश दिया है। प्रभुपाद जी ने हमें प्रामाणिक उपदेश दिया है और प्रभुपाद जी ने केंद्रों की स्थापना की सारे विश्व में, साधुओं की, जिनमें अनेक साधु मिलते हैं, साधु संगत प्राप्त होती है और साधु संगत के सहयोग से हम भक्ति में आगे बढ़ सकते हैं।
हरि बोल। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। सो इन द रथ यात्रा किसने ध्यान से देखा? वो मृदंग क्यों तोड़ रहे थे? व्हाट वाज दैट हैपनिंग? रथ यात्रा जो लंदन में हो रही है 1970 में, वो मृदंग तोड़ रहे हैं, वो क्या था? Who knows what was happening? कौन ध्यान से देख रहा था? यस पुण्यवती।
Mataji, Hare Krishna, maybe they were demonstrating the civil disobedience.
Big civil disobedience. Who will tell? वो प्ले कर रहे थे, उन्होंने बोला कि वो प्ले है। और सिविल डिसोबीडियंस क्या था? चांद काजी के घर तक चैतन्य महाप्रभु सबको लेकर गए थे, क्योंकि चांद काजी ने मृदंग तोड़े थे कि कीर्तन नहीं करेगा कोई। So that was being demonstrated, and for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. तो he was laughing. तो आप लोगों को पता ही नहीं है, the first civil disobedience इसको कहते हैं कि वो प्रोटेस्ट चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने करके दिखाया सब। That was the peaceful protest. कैरिंग मशाल कैरी करके सब गए चांद काजी के घर थे, और उन्होंने फिर चांद काजी को ही भक्त बना दिया। उसी से ही हरे कृष्णा कहलवा दिया। आज भी जब परिक्रमा होती है, हम सब सन्यासियों के साथ, गुरु महाराज के साथ कितनी बार चांद काजी की समाधि पे गए, पहले वहां पे माथा टेकते हैं चांद काजी। तो दैट इज देयर। वहां एक सूख पेड़ है चांद काजी की समाधि पे, तना सूखा है पर ऊपर से सारा हरा है। So we have been many times to, आप भी जब मायापुर जाओ, नवदीप बोर्ड चांद काजी समाधि। So this was the first civil disobedience movement की बात हो रही है, और ये प्ले हो रहा है जैसे रथ यात्रा। And even the bobbies, the policemen there, they were helping. They said कि इतने लोग हैरान थे, प्रभुपाद उस रथ यात्रा में नहीं थे, but Prabhupada was with us, said. And वो गाइड कर रहे थे, time to time sending letters, and he was guiding how the Rath Yatra would happen. It was a huge Rath Yatra, आप देख सकते हैं। Till date it happens like this, and they were famous. They said how their friends कौन थे? George Harrison, John Lennon, the top singers, और वो world famous थे। So whole of London actually appreciated their, and they were Americans in London. We Americans and London में, and Indians, they were shying away. Indians को थोड़ी शर्म आ रही थी कि क्या है, पर बाद में जब उन्हें समझ आई, so they also joined it, and he said many served them very nicely. पर ये सारा movement Americans कर रहे हैं कहाँ पे, on the British soil, and then the Indians gradually joined it. So this is Prabhupada's charisma, the Prabhupada's miracle, making Americans teach the English Vaishnavism, and the Indians coming in. So this is what happened. So Prabhupada की जय। गुरु महाराज क्या बता रहे हैं? गूगल से गुरु महाराज ने क्या बताया? Who made the notes? किसने लिखा कि गुरु महाराज क्या बता रहे हैं? Yes, सुदेवी सुंदरी।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। माता जी, उन्होंने बताया कि चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने उपदेश दिया है कि भक्ति में आगे बढ़ने के लिए हमें सबसे पहले
क्या दी?
हाँ, प्रामाणिक गुरु का आश्रय लेना चाहिए, फिर उसके बाद दीक्षा लेनी चाहिए सेवा करके, और उसके बाद फिर हमें जो कुछ हमें त्यागना पड़े भक्ति में आगे बढ़ने के लिए उसे त्यागना चाहिए। उन्होंने डायबिटीज का भी एग्जाम्पल दिया कि जैसे हमें डायबिटीज की बीमारी होती है तो हमें चीनी को त्यागना पड़ता है, उसी प्रकार भक्ति में आगे बढ़ने के लिए जो कुछ भी हमें त्यागना पड़े उसे त्यागना चाहिए।
यस, और साधु संग में ही भक्ति मिलेगी।
यस माता जी।
इम्पोर्टेंट। तो गुरु की कृपा के बिना भक्ति मिल ही नहीं सकती है। ये गुरु महाराज बता रहे हैं कि प्रमाणिक गुरु की शरण में जाना होगा। कौन सा श्लोक उनने कहाँ से गाया, बताया, कौन बताएगा? विच श्लोक है ये? शक्तिवंत है।
हरे कृष्णा माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। उन्होंने वाचो वेगम मनसा क्रोध वेगम, जो रूप गोस्वामी की नेक्टर ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शंस है उसमें से बताया है।
यस, वाचो वेगम मनसा क्रोध वेगम, जीव वेगम उदर हस्त वेगम, एतान वेगान योगिशत धीरे। अगली लाइन, लास्ट लाइन।
सर्वामपि पृथ्वीं स शिष्यात्,
सारे पृथ्वी पर वही शिष्य बना सकते हैं। So even the Gurbani says here, गुरुमुख कृपा करे भक्ति कीजिए, बिन गुरु भक्ति ना होए। अगर गुरु के ऐसे मुख को देखने वाले शुद्ध भक्त की कृपा हो जाए, सो कृपा से भी भक्ति मिलती है। तो गुरु महाराज की मर्जी से कह रहे हैं कि गुरुमुख कृपा करे भक्ति कीजिए, क्योंकि गुरु के मुख की तरफ देखकर तभी भक्ति होती है, कृपा करते। बिन गुरु भक्ति ना होए, और बिना गुरु की भक्ति होती ही नहीं। आपे आप मिलाए बूझे ता निर्मल होवे कोई। सो कह रहे हैं कि जिसे भगवान कृपा कर दे और उसे मिला दे गुरु से, तभी उस पे कृपा, तभी वो भक्ति कर सकेगा। हर जीव सच्चा सच्ची बाणी शब्द मिलावा कोई। सो हरि जो है वो सच्चे, उनकी बाणी सच्ची। और फिर आगे कहते हैं कि गुरु के शब्दों द्वारा ही शब्द मिलावे हुए। गुरु की शब्दों द्वारा, गुरु के इंस्ट्रक्शंस के द्वारा ही भगवान मिलते, और कोई रास्ता है ही नहीं। भाई रे भक्तहीन काहे जग आया। तो कहते हैं गुरु नानक देव जी के भक्ति के बिना तू जग में आया ही क्यों? तेरा आना ही बेकार है, तू भक्ति नहीं कर रहा तो जग में आया ही क्यों? पूरे गुरु की सेव न कीनी, बिरथा जन्म गवाया। सच्चे गुरु की सेवा ही नहीं की, अपना जन्म व्यर्थ गवा दिया। आपे हर जग जीवन दाता, आपे बख्श मिलाए। जे जंत है क्या विचारे, क्या को आंख सुनाए। गुरुमुख आपे दे वडियाई, आपे सेव कराए। सो गुरु के मुख के जो देख के चलते हैं, वो भगवान उन पे कृपा कर देते हैं, उन्हें सेवा मिलती है। आप उनको सेवा देते हैं, फिर उनकी वडियाई, उनका गुणगान हो जाता है पूरे संसार में जो भगवान की सेवा करते हैं। So this is, आगे भी बहुत कुछ है, but I will not go. It's a huge verse. सतगुरु सेव गुण निधान पाया, तिसकी कीम ना पायो। जिन्होंने सच्चे गुरु की सेवा करी, उन्होंने गुण निधान पाए, उन्होंने गुणों की खान पा ली है, और जिसकी कोई कीमत ही नहीं। It's value. It's so valuable, it's priceless. So what Guru can give us, it's priceless. What Guru's instructions give us, that's priceless. So हमें गुरु महाराज की instructions को follow करते हुए we should actually do the, और गुरु महाराज की instructions है, प्रभुपाद की instructions है संकीर्तन, चैतन्य महाप्रभु की instruction है संकीर्तन, and that is the distribution of the Srimad Bhagavatam. जब भगवत गीता मैराथन आए तो these are the scriptures, these are the, ये क्या, ये शब्द हैं, भगवान के शब्द हैं जिनका हमें वितरण करना है. So this is very important for us. We'll read from Prabhupada Lilamrita a little bit and then we go for. And today evening at 7, I have kept the session, the Zoom session. It's mandatory for all to come because I'm seeing कि preaching के लिए guidance चाहिए. तो it's getting very sluggish, बहुत slow हो रही है. And it's not happening the way it should be. So everybody is enthusiasm बड़ा low है, low fever of है सबका enthusiasm. So everybody must come at 7 p.m. in the evening for the session. So Prabhupada कहते हैं, we are reading about Prabhupada since yesterday, Back to Godhead magazine. First printing press is called Printing Press ले आए हैं, and that is the first ISKCON printing press, and they are going to print the Back to Godhead. It was an off night, no public kirtan and lecture, and Swamiji was up in his room working on his translation of Srimad Bhagavatam. Downstairs, the printing of the first issue had been going on for hours. Rai Ram had typed the stencils, and during the printing, he had stood nervously over the machine, examining the printing quality of each page, stroking his beard and murmuring, hum. Now it was time to collate and staple each magazine. The stencils had lasted for 100 copies, and 100 copies of each of the 28 pages, and the front and back covers were now lined up along two of the unvarnished benches Raphael had made that summer. A few devotees collated and stapled the magazine in an assembly line, walking along the stacks of pages, taking one page under another, until they reached the end of the bench and gave the assembled stack of pages to Gautamani, who stood brushing his long hair out of his eyes, stapling each magazine with the stapler and staples Brahmanand had brought from his Board of Education office. Even Hygrieve, who usually did not volunteer for menial duties, was there, walking down the line, collating. Suddenly the side door opened, and to their surprise, they saw Swamiji looking in at them. Then he opened the door wide and entered the room. He had never come down like this and on an off night before. They felt an unexpected flush of emotion and love for him, and they dropped down on their knees, bowing their heads to the floor. No, he said, raising his hand to stop them, as some were still bowing and others already rising to their feet. Continue what you are doing. When they stood up and saw him standing with them, they were not sure what to do. But obviously, he had come down to see them producing his Back to Godhead magazine. So they continued working silently and efficiently. Prabhupada walked down the row of pages, his hand and wrist extending gracefully from folds of his shawl as he touched a stack of pages and then a finished magazine. ISKCON Press, he said. So what a moment it was. सब लोग jointly effort कर रहे हैं, giving service. प्रिंट हो रही है वहीं पर और फिर वो सारे पेजेस प्रिंट होके रखे जा रहे हैं और डिवोटीज आए हैं to stack them together, to staple them and make them in a magazine form. और 100 copies print कर लिए. So this is how, and Prabhupada came there and Prabhupada ने वो सब प्रणाम करने लग पड़े and Prabhupada कह रहे नहीं सेवा करो अपनी. You just continue with your service. And that's what Guru Maharaj always used to say. Once Guru Maharaj came to Punjabi Vag and I was giving a lecture on the Vyasasana. I was sitting on the Vyasasana giving lecture, evening class, and just Guru Maharaj was supposed to come. And the time we didn't know. In the evening we knew he would come. And I was praying that my class ho jaye and then he should come. But then he came when I was just lecturing. I was sitting on the Vyasasana and there comes Guru Maharaj. And there is a rule, you can't get up from the Vyasasana when you're giving the class. And I could not get up. And you cannot do, आप प्रणाम नहीं कर सकते गुरु को भी भगवान के सामने. But then on the mic, I just announced while giving the class that we welcome His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj in the temple. And Guru Maharaj very surprisingly looked at me because I had no choice how to do, what to do. And then I speak, and I still remember the way Guru Maharaj looked at me. He just turned around. He was taking darshan of the deities and then looked at me. And it was like continue, like he was saying, continue with your class. So that is how Prabhupada, when he came downstairs, so this happens. So all the love, all the emotion that comes up, that is there. And I was thinking, oh, my class has still to go and Guru Maharaj, so sabse milenge, and I'm sitting here giving the class. I can't get out. So these things happen, but the love and emotions, they are very strong. Jagannath had designed the cover using pen and ink drawing of Radha and Krishna, similar to his painting in the temple. It was a simple drawing set within pattern of concentric circles. The first page opened with the same motto Prabhupada had used for years on his Back to Godhead. Godhead is light, nascence is darkness. Where there is Godhead, there is no nascence. These are the main lines, always been there on the top of the Back to Godhead. पता नहीं आप में से कितने लोगों ने notice करी होगी. These are the lines since the day one. And on the same page, Hygrieve had not been able to resist giving a quotation from William Blake, approved by Swamiji, which substantiated the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. God appears and God is light to those poor souls who dwell in night, but does a human form display to those who dwell in realms of day. So William Blake is a poet. Unki lines यहाँ पर Prabhupada ने sanction की that he could quote them. Although the editorial spoke of Blake, Whitman, and Jesus Christ, it stressed it is to teach this science, the devotion to God, that Swami Bhaktivedanta has come to America. His message is simple: chanting of the holy name of the God, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, following the orders of his spiritual master, His Divine Grace Sri Mad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. Swami Bhaktivedanta began the initial publication of Back to Godhead in 1944. This bi-monthly, published from 44 to 56 in Vrindavan, India, established Swami Bhaktivedanta as a leading personalist in India. This issue marks the first publication of Back to Godhead in the West. The main article, a summary of lecture given by Prabhupada, was based on the notes taken by Umapati. Sorry. So we'll read more tomorrow because time does not permit. So we go for the Guru Vandana and Nursing Aarti. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So please do open up your copies of Back to God and see where these lines are. And please, Bhagavatam sets ke liye, distribution of Bhagavatam, you must consider as priority. This is the priority. यही मैराथन का मेन मतलब यही है कि आप और चीजों को कम इम्पोर्टेंस देंगे, more importance to the Bhagavatam. That is why it's a marathon. Everybody has to give more importance to the distribution of Bhagavatam. So at 7 p.m. we'll be talking about many things, your problems, and how preaching has to be done, how it should be done. So, और हर बारी के लिए we have to actually be always on our toes. It should not be, because if you want to become preachers, you have to be on your toes. Hare Krishna. So let's have Guru Vandana and Nursing Aarti. We'll talk the rest in the evening. So let's quickly start singing.
Bando mul savedane mate jahara prasade bai yebavatu riyaja Krishna prapti ho jaha hote Guru mantra patmavatya
चित्त तोड़ी आए क्या और ना करी हो माने आशा श्री गुरु चरणी रति ऐसे उत्तम गति जे प्रसाद पूरे सर्व आशा चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ है तेया विद्या विनाश जायते वेदे गाय जहाँ चरितो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनार बंधु लोकनाथ लोकेर जीवाना आहा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया आहा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया एवं जश कुशुक त्रिभुवाना शीला प्रभुपाद पतित पावना शीला प्रभुपाद ले लो शरणा जय प्रभुपादा प्रभुपादा प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय
Nursing Aarti, please. Please start singing. Namaste Narasimhaya प्रह्लाददायिने हिरण्याकाशिपूर्वक्षः श्रीलटङ्कानखालाय हितो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ददो नरसिंहा बाहे नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहामादिं शरणं प्रपदे तव कर कमलवरेण कामद्भुतशृङ्गा दालिता हिरण्यकशिपुतनुभृङ्गा केशवद्रीता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय गुरुदेव 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 विघ्न विनाशक नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय प्रहलाद महाराज की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय. So let's all join our hands together and pray to the Supreme Lord, pray to Guru Maharaj, pray to Shri Prabhupada to bless all of us so that we are able to chant nicely, attentively, sincerely, and offenselessly. May Guru Maharaj make us sincere devotees of the Lord. May Guru Maharaj empower us, bless us so that we are able to achieve the targets of the Srimad Bhagavatam marathon. May Guru Maharaj be pleased upon us and make us good disciples of him so that we are able to please the Supreme Lord. जय नित्य प्रवेश ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद एसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय. इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य एसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय. जय नित्य प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय. जय नित्य प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद हिज होलीनेस गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय. वृंदावन धाम की जय. मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जय. जगन्नाथपुरी श्री क्षेत्र की जय. भगवद गीता यथारूप की जय. श्रीमद भागवत महापुराण की जय. चैतन्य चरितामृत ग्रंथ की जय. गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय. तुलसी महारानी की जय. बृहद मृदंगा बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय. वांछा कल्पतरु भक्षा कृपा सिंधुभय चा पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवभ्यो नमो नमः. वैष्णव ठाकुर की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. षडगोस्वामी वृंद की जय. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Bhagavad Pad Guru Maharaj ki jai. God Premanande. Hari Hari Bo. So we'll be meeting in the evening at 7 p.m. So please be there as it's an important session we are going to have. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Maharaj ki jai.